Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, lived a king whose youngest daughter was breathtakingly beautiful, but also a little bit spoiled. Her favorite pastime was playing in the castle garden with a shiny golden ball, especially near a deep old well. One sunny afternoon, she tossed her ball just a little too high, and splash, it fell right into the well, disappearing into the dark water. The princess started to cry, her sobs echoing through the garden. Suddenly, a voice croaked from the well, "What's wrong, little princess? Your tears could soften a stone." She looked down and saw a large, ugly frog with bulging eyes staring up at her. "Oh, it's just you, old frog," she said with a sigh. "I've lost my golden ball in the well." The frog replied, "I can get it for you, but what will you give me in return?" The princess immediately offered him jewels, gold, even fine clothes. But the frog shook his head. "I don't want your treasures. Promise me that you'll let me be your friend. Let me eat from your little golden plate and sleep in your little bed. If you promise that, I'll get your ball." The princess thought to herself, "What a silly frog. He belongs in the water. I'll just promise him whatever he wants to get my ball back." So she said, "Yes, I promise. I promise everything. Just bring me my ball." Instantly, the frog dove deep into the well. A moment later, he resurfaced with the golden ball in his mouth and tossed it onto the grass. The princess was overjoyed. She grabbed her ball and ran back to the castle without a second thought, completely forgetting the frog and her promise. "Wait," the frog called after her. "Wait for me. I can't run like you." But she was already gone. The next day, as the royal family sat down for dinner, they heard a strange splashing sound at the castle door. Then a small voice cried out, "Youngest daughter, open the door for me. Remember the promise you made by the well's dark shore." The princess ran to the door, opened it, and screamed when she saw the ugly frog. She slammed the door shut and rushed back to the table, trembling. Her father, the wise king, saw her fear and asked, "My child, what's the matter? Is there a giant outside?" "No, father," she whispered. "It's a disgusting frog. He got my golden ball from the well, and I promised he could be my companion." The king frowned. "A promise made is a promise that must be kept, my daughter. Go and let him in. You must not look down on someone who helped you in your time of need." Reluctantly, the princess opened the door. The frog hopped in, following her to the table. "Lift me onto your chair," he demanded. The princess had to obey. "Now push your golden plate closer so I can eat with you." She did as he said, feeling sick to her stomach. After he had eaten his fill, the frog said, "I'm tired now. Carry me upstairs and put me in your little silk bed." The princess was horrified and started to cry, but her father's stern look reminded her of her duty. She picked up the cold, slimy frog with just 2 fingers and carried him to her room. She tried to leave him in a corner, but he jumped onto her bed. "If you don't put me in the bed," he croaked, "I'll tell your father." This was the last straw. The princess flew into a rage. She grabbed the frog and threw him with all her might against the wall, screaming, "Now you'll finally be quiet, you disgusting creature." But as he fell, he was no longer a frog. Standing before her was a handsome young prince. He explained that a wicked fairy had cursed him, and only her promised sand, that final, furious act, could break the spell. They fell in love at first sight. The next morning, they told the king and queen everything. With the king's blessing, the prince and the princess were soon married and lived happily ever after, having learned that a promise, no matter how difficult, must always be honored. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic tales.